let's bring in one of those T-mats.
Oh, that's right.
Tim Vaughan is going to say about that when he sees those cracked
right,
windows.
practicing here. No, I'm glad Tim's here for us today.
Tim here.
Yes.
Thanks, Gerry. Go Browns.
Good. Thanks, Kevin. Thank you. Good luck to
Tim
you.
has to get to church.
Yeah, that'll be actually later this evening, Gerry, but I do appreciate your concern about that. And my mom shares that concern.
Is your mom listening this morning?
Oh, of course, Gerry, you know she makes a point to always be there to
You are,
listen
even
to the
when you
broadcast.
don't listen, you know what goes on in this program, don't you?
She keeps me well informed. But it's always an honor to join you and Colleen and JC. And I think you and I are both going to need to go to Kevin because I think later on this in 2015, I'm hoping to take you back to Ireland for a little bit of golf.
Yeah, we're working on that. I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, it should be a great trip. I think we're bringing both a friend of yours and mine, and I think Mr. Sullivan, Jimmy Hanlon's going to be joining us on that.
He's a friend of Kevin's.
Yeah, and for those guys who are familiar with Jimmy and his show on Fox STO, I assure you that he is going to be bringing his co-host with him. And as a matter of fact, what we're planning on taping his show, I think at Ballybunion. We're either going to do it there or
at Doonbeg.
At Doonbeg, yeah, at Trump's Course. Yeah.
Wonderful. But let's get back to our tour here. We're trying to get this second bus going. And we're there with our first bus. But we would like some more people to come on.
Well, that's right, Gerry. And I know that the website has it listed as Tuesday as being the deadline for the tour. But I would go ahead and I'm going to extend it at least until Friday. That 216-525-1818 number that you've been generously sharing with our listeners is actually my direct office line. And I would encourage people to go ahead and give me a call as late as Friday evening, and we can make sure that they're on the tour. The one thing that I kind of wanted to mention about the tour and the advantage of giving out that number is I've talked to a number of the people that are going on the tour with us. And Gerry, I remember when you designed the tour, you had the people in from CIE and we met with them, and you really wanted to make it a tour that would be attractive not only for those who are going over for the first time, but also those who have been over many times before. You know, you and I have been blessed to be over, and I'm sure everyone in this room has. But what I found is that there's certain parts of the island that I hadn't been. And back when I first went over, it was shortly after the Troubles, so we never did make it up to the north. And I know that you talked about a lot of people that have been over that haven't made it up into the Northern Ireland, and you had specifically designed the tour so that we spend some time up there.
Yeah, the changes have been drastic in the north of Ireland in the past 20 years. When I went there first, we had the soldiers, we had the guns, they came on the bus, they checked you out. It was kind of exciting in a way, but it didn't lend itself to a very relaxed atmosphere. But now, Belfast is the #1 tourist attraction in Ireland, especially with the Titanic Museum.
Yeah, I really am looking forward to that, and I know that you guys have talked about it before. We're staying at the Great Europa Hotel.
That makes a big difference.
It really does, and I know you've said it before, but the one thing that you specifically made sure of is that all the places that we're staying on the tour really are the top flight hotels, and not that there isn't a great lodging everywhere in the island, but I think it was very important that we make that a reality for our listeners.
Again, like you mentioned, Galway Bay, one of the greatest hotels in Ireland, one of the most beautiful. Johnny Carroll told me every Sunday morning he and his wife head there and have their coffee on the veranda looking out on Galway Bay. Fabulous Bunratty, and of course Killarney also. We were going to stop at the Blarney Stone. A lot of people, there are a few people in the world that haven't kissed the Blarney Stone yet, but we're going to make sure they do.
Well, I'm going to admit something embarrassing to you. You know, I've been blessed to go over twice, and the first time I went over was when I was a young 19-year-old with my older brother.
Oh my goodness, 19.
Exactly, you get in a bit of trouble there. But the reason why I bring this up is both times that I've been over, we went without a tour. Okay, and I've got to admit, this is before the Celtic Tiger, and there was still a lot of things, like even Blarney Castle, that really hadn't been turned into the site that it is now. And when we were over there, we were wandering the grounds looking for the Blarney Stone. And of course, we were naive enough that we didn't do our homework, and we actually thought it was a rock that was somewhere in a garden out there. Little knowing that it was in the middle of the wall of the castle itself. So you know, those are the kind of things that the guided tour will help out with.
That's right.
Yeah.
Those a tour like this, if you were trying to do it on your own and trying to map it out yourself and find things, it'd take you 4 or 5 weeks, and it would cost twice the money.
That's exactly right. Yeah, no, I can see that. And the other time that I went, and I've done a driving tour because, as you know, I went back 2 years ago, and I rented the car because everyone says, you know, it's great to get in that car. But I would tell you that their idea of a 2-lane road in Ireland is about the equivalent of a lane and a half here.
Right.
And although the cars are smaller over there, the buses are nowhere near smaller.
And about the same size.
Oh, exactly. Yeah, it's always an adventure when you're driving.
So we're really looking forward to it, Tim. So they have until Friday.
Yeah, I would say Friday, Jerry, Friday 6 p.m. And again, probably the best way is if they're having difficulty getting online, as you mentioned, just go ahead and give me a call at 216-525-1818 up until Friday at 6 o'clock, and we'll take care of that. So again, what you see on the website talks about Tuesday being the deadline. We're going to go ahead and extend that out so we can get our best chance at filling that second bus.
Very good. Great, Tim. We're going to be talking more about it later on in the program. It's at 11 minutes past the hour of 11 o'clock.